Guess who's back? Back again. Matt Acres back. Share with your friends. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Nah, 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 nah. What is up, guys? What is up? Welcome to Matt Acre Farms Farm Cooperative. This is where we go live one Thursday out of the month to talk all aspects of farming. It gives us an opportunity to grow and learn from one another. I'm Ryan. This is my beautiful wife, Jamie. And of course, we're Matt Acre Farms.
Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody in the chat. How you doing?
So, just to clear the air a little bit, guys, we were on a hiatus for about 3 weeks. Had to take a step back. Now that we're back, we're energized, excited to be here. Happy to see people in the chat. You want to tell them why we're gone and what was going on?
Yes. I'm going to go ahead and drop some Matt Acre knowledge on you folks. But before I do that real quick, is everybody hearing us okay in the chat? Give us a thumbs up. All right. All right, folks. Yes, we took a little bit of a break here, and we needed that.
Yeah, we did. We really did. It refreshed, it rejuvenated us, but also it put things in perspective. As most of you guys may know, when it comes to working full time,
Yeah.
and then as well as farming, and then you got that YouTube aspect in there, the farm YouTube work-life balance sometimes can get off tilted, especially when you have a director that's on your back all the time about videos.
It's not true. It's not true. But I will say that we took a step back. We hit the reset button,
Yes.
and I think we needed that.
Yeah, and what we have learned is we got a lot of stuff going on. The farm, of course, is growing. We got multiple new animals. We got new animals coming that you guys, of course, see in future videos. But also, we have launched our website, www.madacrefarms.com.
That's a shameless plug right there.
Not shameless at all. It's not shameless.
You know what, though? During the break, I was able to get the website done.
Yes, you did. She knocked out the website.
Yeah.
Of course, we also launching our CSA program, which will have 10-member CSA, and of course, we're looking to grow more food, be productive. With that being said, something has to give.
Yeah.
We're not leaving YouTube, but we have made the determination that we're going to dial back YouTube a little bit to one video per week versus a 2 video per week. That's going to give us some time to focus on the important things of growing our business, but also health and our careers as well. With that being said, you have anything? I'm doing all the talking here.
I know. It's actually kind of nice that you're doing all the talking.
I don't like that at all.
I'm really happy to be back. This is our second live, and we are so excited to have our guests tonight that I'm really excited because we've got a lot to learn from Chainbreaker's Garden, and he's taught us a lot. So
yeah, he has been a lifesaver. This guy, he's like he is like the Michael Phelps of garden to us. He's a superstar. We put him on a pedestal.
We do.
If you guys haven't seen we have a video about organic spray that we use to combat cucumber beetles.
Yeah.
I call it the beetle juice. Somebody may have changed the name of that video.
No, I fixed it. It's fixed.
It's called beetle juice.
Mm-hmm.
And what we did was it is a mixture of cinnamon, vegetable oil, and as well as baking soda. And it saved our cucumbers as well as our summer squash and our zucchini plants because those crops were getting decimated by cucumber beetles, and it's really saved us and let us have somewhat of a successful planting season last year. So this guy has an amazing garden. We're going to definitely be bringing him in and you guys talk to him and pick his brain. We're going to, of course, pick his brain live here. But before we get into that, we want to focus a little bit on you guys. See who we have in the chat.
All right, so let's take a look here. It looks like we've got a few folks. We've got all right. Oh, look. Let's take a look here. Angela Wynn, thanks for having me. I'm so excited for my husband. Whoop whoop. So she's giving Chainbreakers some a shout out there and support. There ain't nothing like that kind of support here. Yep. Go best friend.
And then we got Growing with Withdson as well. Another amazing channel. Beautiful soul.
She actually, I try to catch everything with Growing with Withdson. I absolutely love what she does on her channel. She also tells you a lot about the Kroger deals.
Yeah, I'm about to say she's a Kroger queen.
Oh, she's the Kroger.
Kroger needs to give her some kind of endorsement.
Sure do.
How much shout out she give Kroger? So
yep, I emailed corporate over at Kroger and I gave Growing with Withdson a shout out because of just what she really does. It's truly genuine, and it's just you don't see a lot of that. So we absolutely adore you, Growing with Withdson.
Next person we want to give a shout out to is our moderator for the night, AJ Lewis.
Hey.
Remember to keep things PG because he will kick you out. He does not play that. But also go check out his channel. He has a very inspirational channel. Mr. AJ Lewis is a jack of many trades. He's business minded as well as have multiple certification. I would say he might be a certified pilot or something. Who knows?
He
Mr.
could
Lewis.
be.
Yeah,
He's ordained.
Ordained minister. He also is a certified drone flyer. He makes websites.
Sure is.
And
he's like a professional mover.
Yes.
Yep.
He moved us from Colorado back to Iowa.
He did
all by himself. We flew in. He took care of everything.
So hey, AJ Lewis, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
We love you.
we also have the Cow Emporium here, and they are from Canada, I believe, and she actually has really great videos about like squash. She does a lot of this. She did this little series about squash, which is absolutely awesome because I love squash. And she does a lot of like chore videos and shows like the cows and what she's got going on her farm. You guys should check her out. They're amazing out there.
Then another couple shouts out. Let's give we got some mail call, as people call it. Yogi Hollow sent us some stickers as well as a Christmas ornament that Jamie won. So thank you very much for that.
Yep.
And then we received these awesome hats here.
Yeah, from Bill and Antoinette. So Farm, Iowa. So representing here in the house. So thank you all very much.
Yes.
There's a few more people I just want to make sure we get through here, Ryan. We've got Peterson Farms of Nashville. You had a really great video that I absolutely loved. It was with your granddaughter. It was an amazing video, and it really touched my heart. And you actually had a really good idea. He used, I believe it was a Kubota. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but it was the Kubota that he used. And it was one of those like crate containers that he put wood in, and he used the forks off his Kubota. And he basically carried up a ton of wood with his Kubota with the forks. It was actually kind of awesome. And then they unloaded wood, and you were just having a conversation with your granddaughter. It was absolutely, I loved it.
Yeah, we're not skilled tractor drivers.
No, we've got a lot to learn with our Kubota.
Our Kubota might.
It sure would.
Killed over.
Dude, he actually he's like you saw a video about the Kubota. He's like, hey, I didn't realize our Kubota could
our Kubota,
rotate.
Yeah, we have the backhoe in our Kubota.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize the seat can rotate. I usually hop off and stand in the back to try to play with the backhoe. Now I know I can rotate and sit.
We can actually move the seat. Who knew they would build something like that?
They should make something called a manual. People should read it. That was a joke.
I didn't get it. All right, we also have Belly Acres in the house. Belly Acres, they're actually new to the game. She does create a lot of shorts. She did it's called a 4-can chili, and it's 4-can chili. And it's actually a really great recipe that y'all should check out. It actually looked pretty amazing, and I think I can make it. It literally was. If you guys watch our videos, you will know that I may not be the best cook.
May not be the best cook. There's a show called the World Worst Cooks. And what they do is they take the worst cooks, and if the worst cooks, as they improve, the person who improves the most, I think, wins. I think you would lose.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is. You can't boil water.
I know. I burn it.
Yes, several times. Just last week.
I did. How was that even possible? How do you burn water?
I don't know, but
I did.
You managed.
All right. Let's see who else is in the chat here. We've got 7 folks in here. I just want to make sure
make sure you guys hit that like button.
And, look at you, Rhino.
And share. So share with your friends. Put it out there. Let's get this live up there.
Yeah. We've got Roy's Homestead Bees in the house. We just checked our bees.
Yes, we did.
We sure did.
We're not batting too well. We've lost 3 hives. 3 of our 6 hives are gone.
Yeah.
So, but that's okay. As long as if this snowstorm is forgiving tonight, we'll hopefully have those 3 hives, and we'll be able to grow from there. So I'm okay. I'm all right.
Yeah.
50% is better than none.
Yeah.
So.
We also have, we actually have Angleside Farm here. I want to say you guys are in Michigan. Shoot it in the chat. Let me know if I'm right here with Angleside. They actually have, I want to say it's a really cool story, like a generational farm. I believe you guys had a generational type video where it showed kind of, just where the farm was and, just kind of how the growth of it, which I thought was absolutely amazing. So we've got them in the house here. That is a very, very special video. Y'all should check it out. Look at this. We also got some of our neighbors in the house.
Look at there.
Yes.
FT Lots. If you guys are into the trains, go check out his channel.
Yeah.
It is amazing. And they are lifesavers. We had that big windstorm that came through here. We knew nothing about it because we don't never turn on our TV.
Jim came in and he's like, "Hey, did you get everything tied down?"
We're like, "What?
For what?" And he's like,
"We got a storm coming in tomorrow."
He's like, "Don't you guys watch the news?" And we're like, "No."
First all, let's back up. He came at like pitch black dark. and no one knocks on our door.
Ever. No one ever comes.
So I'm like Elmer Fudge.
He's like, whoa. We have absolutely the best neighbors.
Yes,
honestly, we have the best community. And you know what? I actually think I saw Miss Savannah in here. I'm trying to find Miss Savannah.
It was up top. Yeah, she is in here. And she's with Devon.
Oh, right here.
Yes.
This right here, folks, this actually is our son and his girlfriend, Savannah. You guys,
the prodigals. The prodigals.
This is for you, friend.
Yes. Make sure you guys absorb all this information. We will be doing a pop quiz.
Yes.
It is essay style. And
if you do not get it right, you do not
inherit the farm.
Nope.
It's
gone.
She
gone. She gone.
But
we also, you guys, so we've got 8 folks in here. Ooh, there's Lala. The Lala Farm's in the house. Hey guys, how you doing?
And we're gonna be on their live
next week. We sure are.
I'm excited for that.
You know what? I am an absolute fan of Lala with the goats.
Yes, I am jealous of them and their goats.
Oh my, their setup. Oh my gosh! If you guys haven't checked out Lala's, which I know a lot of these folks in here have, but if you guys haven't, it's actually pretty amazing. And they have everything. I was looking at, they had fencing, how to install the fencing. We need to do that. So we're going to go back and check out their videos. And it's amazing. They have a wealth of knowledge on their channel with their videos. So you guys should check it out. But we're excited.
Especially if you're into goats.
Oh yeah, they do have a lot of, and pigs. They do a lot with the show pigs. But it's awesome.
Yes.
It is absolutely awesome. I want to make sure that we capture everybody in here and make sure we didn't miss anybody.
The acres.
Yep. We've got everybody here. We've got, Appalachian American Homestead. We've got those folks in the house here. They are from East Tennessee. Let me see if I can find you guys. So we just wanted to give y'all a shout out here because they actually did a series of like meals. And not that I actually would.
Let's just move on from that. Just tell the story.
Honestly, you guys had some amazing recipes, and I am actually going to try them, and you're going to eat them.
I had got to up my life insurance policy.
See what I have to deal with this guy?
Devon might be. I'm coming home to you, Elizabeth.
What is that from a movie?
Red Samper. Come on now.
Sorry.
Come on.
I'm sorry. Okay. You know what? We've got a lot of these folks in the house.
Now, a lot of people are not here for us, and we know it. So
it's okay.
You're here for the mastermind behind Garden,
yes.
the Ayatollah, the guru. So before we get into that, I want to just set the precedence. His garden compared to ours looks like a masterpiece. So we're going to show you guys some snippets. We're going to dive into the topic of crop extension as well as succession planning. We're going to pick his brain because that's something that we decided last season not to do, was extend our season from summer to fall and winter. Just due to the fact that I didn't feel we had the proper equipment as well as the knowledge to be planting in fall and winter.
He's, absolutely amazing.
I don't think he has stopped planting. I really don't.
No, I don't think so either. So I think it's like a continuous motion for him.
Yes, and that could be just because where he's located, or it just could be just all the wealth of knowledge. But either way it go, I am jealous. So
it's official.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you will see that I do have a little crush on his garden, so I will say that. So
all right, well let's introduce Thaddeus with Chainbreaker's Garden here.
Do not be afraid to leave it all on the table, man. Just put it all on the table. Who you are, what you represent.
Hey,
how's it going?
I'm doing pretty good.
Hey, we got a little long-winded back there. I apologize.
Oh no, you're fine.
Well, thank you very much for coming on and taking some time out to let us pick your brain and as well as introduce you to some people that may not know who you are, but but also spread some of that knowledge, that wealth of knowledge that you have. So thank you very much. Before we get too in depth into the questions that we have about crop extension as well as succession planning, why don't you introduce yourself in the channel, to our channel and to the people out there, if you would, please.
Okay. Hey guys. Well, I'm Thaddeus, of course, and I'm the creator of Chainbreaker's Garden. We're located here in right outside of Greenville, South Carolina. We started with a very little small plot, and then I just sort of went crazy and decided to make it a little bit bigger. And we worked our way from being just a regular garden to transitioning to a market garden. And so that's where we find ourselves right now. And that's why we're still trying to grow things, and I'm still just making a big mess of it all. But yes, that's who we are.
So how long have you been growing food?
Oh, well, I mean, really, I started back when I was like in the 3rd grade. I think it started with just tomatoes and then tried corn and then sucked at corn for a little bit. And then when I got older, I got better at it. And so, yeah, I've been growing for for quite some time. And
now, at first, it was for personal uses. Now, from what I'm gathering in your videos, you have gotten to the market stage of gardening. How long you been doing in your marketing garden setup?
Well, yep. So we started that way, and then now we're in the market garden. We've now been at that for about 6 or 7 months. And we really just made that transition because I'm not sure if you guys watch Josh Satin. He's out of North Carolina.
Yes.
And once I saw his garden, and then I was like, man, I can do that. Like I can give it a shot. And so that's how we really you guys talk about gurus. Like I love to just sit there and you guys and Josh Sadden and all those. I just like to pick the brains of you all.
Yes.
And then sort of that's how we arrived at this point.
Yeah, that's amazing. So in your garden, you last year you did sunflowers, a whole bunch of different herbs, watermelon,
pumpkins.
So you had a number of things. Out of those, right? I know you're making sound like you're making a transition with the market garden, but out of that last season, what were some of those favorite crops of yours that you?
Definitely corn, and I found myself really in love with the sunflowers, just like a little bit too much, but for whatever reason, because they are still really beneficial plants, for taking toxins out of the soil. But they also just look so darn good. So I like them a whole lot. And then, of course, squash and zucchinis, they are just some of my favorites as well.
Yeah. And so now that you have transitioned over to the market, from the personal to the market garden, are you still taking that same concept with the planting, or are you switching up your planting style?
We'll be making that transition to take advantage of the space that we have. So we kind of veer away a little bit from the corn. We're going to stick with the sunflowers just for their beneficial use. But really it's going towards lettuce, kales, broccoli, and just brassicas in general. And we'll try to get that all the way through till hopefully early May, if we're lucky.
Now, so is that mainly due to production, fast turning crops, cash crops type?
Right. So in this approach, we're looking for how much we can actually produce monetarily from the smaller space that we have. And so lettuce and kales and all those things allow us to do that. And zucchinis and squashes, they'll also be in there because if you guys know, they just produce nonstop. So so they'll also be in there, but kind of scale back on the corn. I did, had a seed bender last night, and so I did buy pepper seeds, so there will be peppers too.
Okay.
Yes.
Now you said that you guys grow food on a small scale. Before, I want to just talk to the crowd. So for those who out there that's thinking about getting into garden, thinking about getting into this market garden, it doesn't take very much land to grow at the style of garden when it comes to market garden to make a profit. If you could tell the people, how big is your current garden?
Right. So the current garden now, if just that one space that I have is about 6,000, I think it's 6,200 square feet. So that's why we made that transition to lettuce and kales and stuff. So I can get in a standard, 30-inch bed, I can do 5 rows of lettuce, maybe 4 rows of kale, and that goes 50 feet. And that's how we kind of came to that. I think if you have a bigger space, you can adjust that.
How many beds does that equate to?
Right now that equates to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think we have 12 beds, and we're still in the process of. I still have to mound up a few more coming into spring though.
Okay.
Hey, real quick, we've had a few more people join us in the chat. You got some fans out there, chain breakers. You got some fans out there. You got the Cow Emporium is giving you shout out, saying that you have the best garden.
Yes, he does.
It's amazing. We also had a few people join us. We got Simply Jan. We got Hands in the Dirt. We got Down Under Fulla from Australia. I mean, we got some great people in here tonight, and we can't thank y'all enough for coming in and showing some love here to us. So we appreciate it. But I would like to get a word in. Can I get a word in?
I do. I do have a garden question, so
it's clear. It is clear.
I can keep going. Go ahead.
Hey, so I just have a question for you. So in the beginning, it wasn't the plan to do a market garden, right? And then it kind of just transitioned to that, right?
Right.
So biggest challenge that you're seeing with the market garden, because you're also kind of dipping your toe in CSA, right?
That's correct.
So for the market garden, what have you found thus far to be the most challenging?
People, just trying to find people and trying to get us out there, and at the same time, making sure that I'm still connected to the garden itself, because it's so easy to kind of get, at least for me, doing the branding part, the reaching out part and all that, and then coming back and then having to manage the plants, that sometimes can get a little hectic. And so that's something that we have to manage a little bit better.
Yeah, I would definitely double down, and as I said told you, we threw quite a bit of props away last year. I was very disappointed. I mean, last year was our first year. We had a business plan, of course, and we implemented that business plan. And it went well when it comes to the growing side, but we didn't factor in the people side of things and how we were going to get those crops to the people and what kind of crops that the people would like.
So, we didn't account for like what actually made sense to grow in our market. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Like we didn't account for like, you know.
I knew, like, for example, I know what yellow squash is and how to cook yellow squash, but someone else may not know that. So it was a learning curve there. So we didn't think about that. But
like collards and turnips, we grew those, and those actually, you know, those did okay, but not as well as I thought they would.
Yeah.
You know, and I do have a question for you. So with our turnips, we were challenged a little bit with our turnips because they kept wilting when we would cut them.
Yes, they did.
Do you, for turnips, Chamber, because you're still doing turnips, aren't you?
That's correct.
When you cut the turnips, is there a trick to it? Because like ours just welted, and we tried ice water, we tried everything, but they would like wilt in the, you know, in the heat. Like when we were at the market, it was like they looked so pretty, like for like 2 minutes, and all of a sudden they're like, you know, it's like, oh gosh, you know, like, what do you do?
Right. So with the turnips, I try to leave them on the bulb itself for as long as possible.
You don't cut the base. You pull it out.
When I'm selling turnips, it goes turnip with the bulb itself. Especially in the South, people either they want the greens or they want the bulb, and I just found it easier. Hey, you just have the whole thing, and that way the leaves still keep all their moisture.
Well, because I was looking at the fact if I cut it, I can grow back some more.
But is that not where succession planning comes in? Would that not follow? Like, would you not do like? Is that what it's like? Succession planning?
What?
Like, so if you pull that, okay. So what did you do in that space when you pulled it? When you pulled up that plant? Because like when you pull that bulb out, like, are you waiting to put another crop in there, or what are you like when you did that? What did you put there?
Right. So the turnips, they go down in like August, September. And then I'm going to, when I pull them up, let's say end of November, then the peas, they come in, right? So then peas come in, and then they transition all that together, and then it just kind of keeps rolling until we reach early spring. And then the peas, either we cover up with plastic and let that rot, or we pull them up, feed them to the chickens, or, try to incorporate them back into the soil some sort of way.
So let's put this in perspective real quick. So let's back a real quick. What does your winter look like? Because our winter, we can have 2 feet of snow outside, and it'd be -30. What does your winter look like? So
see, our winter is nothing. Our winter is nothing like that. Our winter is, we may get some snow. We may get some some frost and some ice. I think we've got in the forecast this weekend for ice and frost, but we'll never see anything more than like maybe 2 inches of snow, maybe if that.
Okay.
So that's why we can kind of keep growing a little bit through the year.
So when it comes to your crop extensions, a lot more, your environment is a lot more conducive than ours, where ours take a little bit more equipment and some rearranging things to be able to grow crops all year round. So like for example, I was reading when you want to grow spinach for the winter, you want to have that spinach in the ground, and it's roughly 75% to maturity before you get your before winter hits.
Yeah.
Where he can plant spinach probably late October and be just fine.
Right. So, I'm just trying to think of like, it's so like our garden. I wish ours was better, man. Like
we'll get there.
I know, but it's so. I'm just.
You know what happens is she go on all these different YouTube channels and she watch all these Instagram pictures and she see the end product. She see what they've been working on for decades and think that we should have it in the first year, and it doesn't work that way. It's baby steps. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Well, let's do a few shout outs to the chat here. We've got Anglerholics in the house. If you guys haven't seen Anglerholics, they have a game show that they actually have, and it's built around like their fishing community, which is actually a fantastic idea because they bring their community in. They have contestants that join this game that they've kind of created, and it's all about the community. So basically, it's giving support to their fishing and adventure community, where you're going out and you're watching everybody's videos, and then you have contestants on the actual live that have to answer these questions, and then they ask the chat. It's a very, very popular game that Anglerholics has come up with, and they've actually just started a rewards program too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's very out of the box thinking. So
I just want to put that. I got a new fishing pole. And you know what? I'm looking for me a fishing partner, and we're coming at you guys full force. I will be having my fishing videos just to show you guys that I can pull some catfish out of the lake. So what else we got?
No, the biggest thing he's caught was like a bluegill, dude.
That's all right.
Don't let him fool you. Like it. Hey, Hudson, Growing with Hudson just asked if we thought about a high tunnel.
High tunnel. You know what? That is something that is on our agenda to do, but how my finances work, the money goes in on a Friday, and sometimes it can't come out for another 2 months until I see it.
Oh man, yeah, but we were talking about doing what did you call it? The little tunnels.
Low tunnels. We're doing some low tunnels. We're gonna do some ground covers and things like that.
Yeah.
Some drop cloths and stuff like that. So I bought some conduit. We got our Agribon. And so we're going to be doing quite a few different things this year to combat not only pests, but also to extend our season. Because our goal this year is to be able to carry crops throughout the winter.
Yeah.
But I want to get into this succession planning. I got some questions about succession planning, and I see that you do that a lot. I've been doing my research.
Right quick. My sister Cooks has joined us, and I tell you what, folks, if you haven't checked out her, she is popular on Instagram.
It's Instagram, yes.
And then I think she has a couple YouTube videos. But
she did a video, not to cut you off, but
she did a video. He just cut me off.
She did a video where she took $65, I think it was.
Yeah.
And she had to feed her family, I think it's a family of 3 or 4 for an entire week off of $65. And with times looking the way they are right now, it's an amazing video to learn from her because
they look amazing.
Those dishes were amazing.
Yeah.
And like she fried some chicken, and my chicken never looks like that.
Sure doesn't. Sorry.
Sorry. You see what I have to go through? You see what I got to go through?
Sorry.
But my chicken never looks like that. So she did an amazing job. But yeah, she's really big on Instagram, and then she did this jumbo shell recipe. And man, my mouth was watering the whole time. I wish I could cook.
Y'all should check her out. It's awesome. It is awesome. And then Ryan, we actually have East Coast fishing and camping in the house. I'm not sure that I've seen too many of their fishing videos, but I'm gonna check them out. Write them down. Let's check them out. Anybody in this chat here, folks, just make sure that you check out their channels. And also Chainbreaker. I see you haven't got your community page just yet. Man, you deserve that. You deserve that community page. So everybody in the chat here, if you haven't checked out Chainbreaker, trust me, he will not disappoint. He keeps it 100.
Yes,
absolutely.
And his videos are very inspirational, inspiring. So, but back to the succession planning, because that's something where I fouled up last year on was succession planning. I really didn't grasp it. And I guess like, for example, let's say I'm growing tomatoes, and we know that each plant has a set number of fruit is going to bear. When do I plant that next tomato plant before that fruit on that very first plant is done?
Do you do that with tomatoes?
You do it with all your plants.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So you can do it with all your plants. And so you're going to space them out as you plant them in the spring, right? So you may want to plant your first batch in the beginning of, let's say, April. And then your next batch, you're going to put down, let's say, maybe towards in like early Mayish, especially with tomato. Well, here in South Carolina, with the tomatoes, of course, you just space them out just accordingly. That way they're always producing.
About a 4-week span.
About a 4-week span, I would think, especially out there where you guys are, in that cold weather. You want to try to keep it kind of close because your window is so small to grow in.
Yeah, and see, that's the mistake that we made last year was we planted all our tomatoes at one time, and of course, all of them bear fruit at the same time. We had all this fruit.
It was a hot mess,
and then all of them stopped producing fruit around the same time. So it was at a point where we want to make sure that we're spacing out properly and having fruit all year for a long period span.
Right.
What question you got?
Real quick, I want to make sure I give a shout out to Peterson Farms in Nashville, to Bailey. Bailey, hi, if you're watching, how you doing? I'm a fan of yours. Sorry.
Go ahead.
All right.
So now next question is, so I'm succession planting, right? And let's say, for instance, my tomato is spent. It's time to pull it out. Are we going back in that same spot with another tomato plant, or are you rotating that out with a different plant?
Right. So I never plant anything in the same spot. If space allows me to do so, I would, where the corn went down this year, I then go ahead, pull that up, and I may put hairy vetch right there for an extended period of time.
So you want to cover crop. So you do
just to repair that nitrogen that's been just consumed by the tomato. Okay. And then next year I'll come back with maybe, I don't know, maybe squash or something like that. Okay. But I try not to go back in the same spot every time.
Yeah. So because what I'm looking at, of course, like you, we have a small area. We have a quarter acre that we have allocated to our market garden. So sometimes we don't have that ability to take a bed out of production. Right. I think last year we had roughly 20 beds, and our goal is to keep those beds constantly rotating. So I didn't know if I could, if it's a different variety of tomato plant, it's okay, or should I go after those tomatoes are pulled up, throw lettuce there, something else, right. so that it, of course, lettuce is not going to use the same nutrients as a tomato.
Our lettuce didn't turn out this. We planted too late, I think.
We did. But don't be putting our business.
I'm gonna put our business in the street. That you're gonna hear it.
Our business.
Oh, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna lay it out. I mean, the streets are tough out here.
First of all, we got a dirt road. We got a master garden on here. You talking about our lettuce that turned out?
Don't judge us.
It looked good. They don't need to know that it didn't turn out.
It didn't taste good. It was horrible. It tasted like medicine. It was gross.
For you guys, going for it, I'm going to go ahead and give Jamie a mute button. I'm going to put a mute button there.
I don't mind. This girl don't stop talking.
No, you don't.
Nope. Can't stop. Won't stop.
So you're doing even on your 6,000 square foot area, so you're taking beds out of production.
Yeah. So I'm just moving one over. So corn here, stop, corn over to the next bed, come back with the peas and radishes or collards or something like that.
Okay.
And then let that run its course for a little bit, feed that to the chickens or, till it back into the ground. And then something else comes back into that place.
Okay. So
make sure you shout that out. So my sister Cooks wants to know, what would you suggest to grow in buckets? I'm in NYC trying to live a farming life. What'd you recommend?
Depends on what time of the year it is. In buckets, you have the great ability to be able to bring it indoors. So if you wanted to grow tomatoes or peppers or something like that, and then just bring them indoors in the winter, give it a little bit of light, or maybe let it overwinter inside, bring it back outside, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah, you can do anything. Spinach, lettuce. You can do it because last year we did where we put in buckets. We call them our salad bowls.
Oh, we sure did.
They were live salad bowls, and what it was a little small bucket, and we put those in there, and where we was able to take kale, our different lettuces, and then we also
did like
Swiss chard,
cilantro.
We did cilantro.
And
we
basil.
did parsley in those. So there's a number of things you can put inside buckets, and actually, like Chainbreaker said here, take those inside. And right now, we actually have we're experimenting hydroponic style, and we have kind of similar buckets of. We have what are peppers, tomatoes.
Yeah, peppers and tomatoes.
And arugula.
We do have arugula. So we're trying to hand out hydroponics. Have you ever done that at all, Thaddeus?
I've been tempted to do it, but I decided I'm just gonna stick to what I got right now. But it is very tempting, especially when you watch a bunch of other people on YouTube. You can kind of get sidetracked a little bit, and so I'm just trying to stay away from it for right now. But yes, it looks phenomenal.
Yeah, we're experimenting right now.
There's some good people with container gardens on YouTube. My sister cooks right in this community right here too that you can jump on and check out some of their channels. Growing with Withdson said she's I'm a container gardener. So I know that she just recently showed some videos. I think it was trees that you were doing.
Yeah, she did the trees where she took she was feeding her trees.
Sure, what? Yep, that's exactly what it was. Yep.
Yeah, so she does a lot of container gardening as well. Now let's talk about crop extension. Of course, your crop extension is going to look a little different from what we have to do here. So when you have to extend crops, it sounds like you're able to go. You're not going to get very much snow, so you're able to go throughout the entire year without having to do like row covers or anything like that. Is that correct?
Well, last year the frost came in early. I don't know what happened, but it really did. And so luckily I bought a bunch of Agribond fabric in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And I think for anybody who is thinking about starting a market farm, you're really going to spend a lot of your money on stuff like that, like infrastructure things. And that's something that we have to have here because it does come in. We're not too far from the mountains. So we do get a little bit of frost and light snow. And so sometimes that can catch you off guard early in the spring. So yeah, so we did have to invest in that and like 6 mil plastic, which I got a bunch of that lying around anyway. But so we do use that every now and again.
So equipment wise, so what you're saying that you have some plastic Agribond. I'm assuming you're using the conduit method where you bend the conduit and then you put in the sandbags on the side of it.
Right. Yep.
Is there anything else that someone would need to extend crop season equipment wise?
I think for just a standard backyard farm or small market garden, I think that you can probably get away with just doing that. But I mean, if you want to get bigger, like Withdson has said, high tunnels. And the great thing about high tunnels is, especially if you're a farm, you can for Farmers Friends high tunnels, you can always try to apply and get the grant to get the money back. So if anybody wants to think about that, then yes.
You did a lot of research on a lot of like the grants and so forth. I know you've talked about it in your videos. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the research that you've done and the steps that you've kind of taken? Because I know, creating a farm and that kind of thing was one of the things that, you were really kind of researching what it took to do that.
Yeah. So especially if you are a smaller farm, and if you're located maybe in the suburbs, there are grants out there for that. If I'm in the process of trying to build the small walk-in cooler, well, you can, so long as it's fully inspected by the government, you can get your money back on that, like cool bots and high tunnels and some supplies. Yeah, so it all the information is out there, but you just have to reach out to certain universities that are in charge of it in each state.
Yeah.
Do you know what a cool bot is?
Yeah, cool bot is it's a piece of equipment that you hook up to an air conditioner that tricks the air conditioner not to turn off, and it's like a freezer. It's like a 4-man freezer, walk-in freezer. But for
bring
those,
me one of those, Rhino.
For those,
because you got one, chain breakers. I know I'm interrupting you.
For those who don't know, the FDA constitute a farm not by the size of the land you have, but by how much money you make. And they say anyone who's in agriculture that makes $1,000 is considered a farm. So if you make $1,000 a year off of agriculture, you're considered you can be a farm. So if you have 800 square feet and you can pull it off, where you can do microgreens or whatever, you make $1,000 a year. You can be considered a business in the farm and qualify for some of those grants out there. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, Chainburger had just spoken about some of the steps for what you were taking to become to be classified as a farm. Do you had a video on that, or you're kind of talking about some of the steps or what you were kind of joining? I think there was like a Chainburger. I think it was like an association or something that you were talking about.
Right. Like, so there's several, like the Young Farmers Association. Yeah. That's a great organization out there. You don't have to be young. You just have to be new at this, right? So that's one. Our local state has a couple of growing organizations here as well. They definitely help get you kind of started, kind of get you connections with a lot of professors and stuff at agricultural schools. And they sort of walk you through it. Like earlier tonight, there was one on financing, right? And so that's a big part of what we're doing is trying to understand the finances. It's easy to grow this stuff, but when the money we spend a lot of money. Let's make no mistake about that. And so that's something that I think everybody who, even if you're not even starting a farm, that's something that anybody can just sit in and just kind of learn the ways of that, because it can get really tricky.
Yes, it definitely can. There's a method to the madness. We've been fortunate. Our neighbors, we live in our neighbors have been very helpful in pointing us in the right direction
and bailing us out.
Yes, they have. So, but yeah, there's definitely a method to the madness there.
Yeah.
We haven't too much looked at any grants. We just been using our personal funding for right now. We want to wait till we get to a certain stage before we start looking at grants. What else question you have, Ms. Madison?
First and foremost, there's Apple Tree Urban Homestead. Welcome everybody in the chat. Thank you again for joining us and taking the time. I do want to mention something to you guys that we are actually just going to do like a little small giveaway. And this is actually, we have a couple of these that we do sell at our farmers market. This is a Quetzal. It's actually a keychain. It's Guatemalan. It's made in Guatemala.
It's handmade.
It's handmade. These are pretty popular.
This is the national bird for them.
Yep. So this is a national bird. So what we're actually going to do is I'm going to scroll the keyword. Now you got to bear with me because this is our second live. Okay. So don't give me too hard of a time here. Okay. But we're going to scroll the keyword across the screen, and then I want you guys to pop it in the chat just as it looks. It's going to, even with the hashtag. And then once we get that going here in about 5 to 6 minutes, we'll do a drawing for this and for the winner. Okay. But it's just it's a keychain and it's handmade. It's all beaded. So let me pop that across the screen here right quick, and we'll get you guys loaded up in the chat. And then we're going to try this Stream Live drawing tool. So give me just a second here, and we'll make this happen for you. And you should see that keyword kind of pop up on the chat here soon. And then y'all can do your thing with it. And once you get it in there, we'll give a few minutes and we'll get you guys going in that drawing. So what other question for Chainbreaker?
So you've been in the market gardening for about 7 months, you said. And you've been gardening since you said 3rd grade. On the professional side, what are some of the obstacles or setbacks have you seen when it comes to farming?
Some of the setbacks, it probably you guys hit on it a little bit early. Is the storage aspect of it when you have a bunch of stuff and there's not a market for it. Right. So if I started off growing a lot of kales and stuff, but here in South Carolina, people are more prone to collards and turnips and stuff like that. So you have to definitely get out and kind of canvas your market as much as possible, and just try to develop, I guess, those connections with individuals in restaurants and stuff like that. And so, because everything, like if you're growing a bunch of lettuce and stuff like we are now, that may connect with certain restaurants, but the average person, here would like collards and turnips at the beginning of the year because that's Southern tradition, collards and turnips.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely the one big hiccup that I think we've ran into so far.
Yeah, I will definitely say that was one we didn't properly market ourselves and do our market research. But this year we have revamped everything. We're ready this year, I think, and we're going to have a lot of interesting products that I think will work with the community that we live in.
I think for me, though, for the market, because like you've already kind of started that, haven't you, Chainbreaker, with the market? How do you balance that with time? Because like I find it so difficult we're working full time because you got to keep the lights on in the place. Mm-hmm. And then you have your garden, which you have to, make sure it's on the up and up, you're watering, and you make sure that everything is kind of, in its right place. We have animals, you have chickens, right? Mm-hmm. And so you gotta, do what you gotta do for your animals. And then on top of it, the YouTube thing, the Instagram, the TikTok, and Facebook, or the advertising of that. It's just, when do you find the time to actually harvest and do the market garden? You know what I mean? Like, how do you allocate that? Like, what are you doing? Something's got to give, right?
Right. So for me, there's work, there's school, there's family, and animals and things. So automation is a big thing. So sprinklers and sprinkler systems, things that can take you out just a little bit. For us, it was the ground cover itself, so I don't have to do so much weeding. That takes, that's a little bit of ways to cut and manage. And then crops, like I won't say never, but for the foreseeable future, okra won't be on my list because I can't keep up with it. There's no way for me to keep up with harvesting okra, and so it's just certain crops that, are going to run you ragged if you let them. And so we have to scale back on certain things. I scale back on YouTube and focus more on Instagram, just so I can have just that sense of balance. And so I can just focus on the plants themselves, because then you can just kind of get caught up in this machine, and it can wear you out. It can really burn you out really fast.
Yeah. So you touched base on watering, and that's what I forgot to ask about, was watering your crops during the winter. What does that look like?
We're really blessed here. I don't really have to do any watering at all really during the winter, because we have a predominantly clay soil, mm-hmm. and our winters are kind of wet. So once we get a good rain here, I really don't have to do any watering because, that clay soil just retains that moisture mm-hmm. for very long. So, but in the summertime, we have to water. We have to really step it up.
I'm about to say, now, I did hear you mention that the clay soil is causing some issues with mold. Mold, was it, for you?
In some spots, it was yes. In some spots, it did cause some issues as far as just allowing our roots not to be able to properly cut through the soil. So we definitely have had to work in amending certain spots and trying to encourage worms to get in that area. So hopefully we resolve that.
Have you ever thought about breaking some sand in to help aerate the area, or?
Right. So I've done that with lavender, and that worked really well. But then I read on a forum one time, it was just a random person, but I don't know. They were like, you really shouldn't bring in sand because the particles don't go with this particle, this, that, and all the third. And so I was like, well, I don't care about that. I'm gonna go ahead and plant my lavender with sand, and it worked. So yes, that's something I thought about. And maybe we'll try to incorporate a little bit more on some of the rougher sides of the garden.
Yeah. Okay. So before we get to the end, I just want to give you an opportunity to let people know where they can follow you on social media as well.
Okay. Yeah. You can follow me at Chain Breakers Garden on Instagram, on TikTok, and of course here on YouTube. We're working on our webpage. Right now it's just via MailChimp, but we'll hopefully get that up pretty soon. And you can follow us on Facebook, brand new over there too. So that's
awesome.
All those places.
Well, let's do the drawing real quick. Okay. See if I can't make this happen. I'm a little nervous.
If it fails, guys, it's her fault.
My fault. Boom. It's my fault. All right, so give me just a second here, and I'm going to share this screen real quick, and we'll see if we can't make it happen.
You got a few seconds. Go ahead and get your Farmilia in there.
All right. I'm going to hit the draw button. Hey, Chain Breakers, you see my screen now with the draw button?
Yes, I do.
All right. Winner takes this beautiful thing home. Cow Emporium.
Oh, congratulations, Annette.
Congrats.
Please email us your address, and we will get this in the mail tomorrow for you.
Yep, sure will.
Congratulations. Our first drawing, success.
Yes. Nailed it.
Now there's something that you do, Chain Breaker. Before we go, we want to just take a quick second here and thank everybody. But there's something that you do at the end of every one of your videos, and that's say a prayer. We're going to say a quick goodbye, and we want you to close us out with a prayer, if you would.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing what you do, Chain Breaker, and you truly are an inspiration for us. And I don't think you know how much you've helped us this last growing season. And there were times where we looked at each other and we're like, we got to reach out to Chain Breakers.
Yes. What would Chain Breakers do?
Yeah, it's what would Chain Breakers do? So, like, for real, you are truly an inspiration. Keep doing what you're doing, and keep putting those videos out. We're watching them.
Yes,
we are watching them. All right. So let's give you the floor here, Chain Breakers. But thank you, and the chat. Thank you
guys very much for coming and watching us and supporting us on our endeavor. We really appreciate it, every last one of you guys. We love you, and we're gonna give the floor back to Chain Breaker here.
All right, and make sure you hit Chain Breakers page up, and make sure you hit that subscribe button for Chain Breakers. It's totally worth it. You won't regret it. The floor is yours.
All right, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for having us on, and I appreciate you all so much. We end every show with this. I pray the atmosphere that you move in, that you're building in, that you're growing in is of nothing but God. I pray you and your family remain covered. Amen. You guys stay blessed.
Thank you, Chain Breakers. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Have a very good night, everybody.
And don't forget to share with 1 million friends or two, guys.
All right, you guys. Peace.